What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Very happy to be here. Today I have a great question from one of the amazing viewers on this channel. How to progressive overload using Handy Gym. Let's get into it. Now, in case any of you aren't familiar with what Handy Gym is, it is a flywheel device. So the amazing thing is you're generating your own weight. So progressive overload, it's not too much different than any other machine that you might use in the world or how any other type of training that's out there. It's not too different, but there are a couple of key differences that I want to touch on today. Now, we're talking specifically for hypertrophy, all right? Strength training is different. Hypertrophy training is a little bit different. Everybody has different ways of gaining these types of trainings depending on what they like to do. The way I see it, especially with this machine that we're talking about today, Handy Gym, you have the more volume option, you have the more weight option, and as always, you want to push yourself as hard as possible because the amazing thing about Handy Gym is the machine itself will compensate. So what I mean by that is the weight is going to change as you go. You're always going to get the perfect amount of weight for every single rep that you do, which makes it very easy to do drop sets and things like this, which also help when it comes to hypertrophy. Now, if you're looking for a bodybuilding experience, you want more muscle size rather than more muscle strength, I personally recommend starting off with a very low weight. For example, I have right here the yellow discs on this machine right now, and that is for a reason. Depending on the body part, you may want to use the lighter weight with more volume. Calves, for example. I'm not saying that you're going to use yellow on calves, but calves is a very short range of motion, right? You're going up, you're going down, very short range of motion. You may want a little more time under tension when it comes to your calves. So what are you going to do? You're going to use a lighter weight and you're going to do more volume so you can go ahead and really tire those muscles out. When you're doing your chest, for example, maybe you want a heavier weight. So maybe the blue discs would be sufficient. Maybe the red discs would be sufficient. Maybe you really have to get closest up to that 220-pound weight limit depending on how large you are. Maybe you need that, so you might have to put on the extra pulley or something along those lines. At the end of the day, this machine has a very, very good range of motion when it comes to weight. But the key is to push yourself as hard as possible and to stay within a rep range that is going to be good for your goals. If you're looking for more volume, you want to go ahead and maybe put it on the yellow disc or maybe a combination of yellow and blue, something along those lines, so you can get that high rep range that you're looking for depending on your personal training goal. If you want to focus more on strength and less on hypertrophy, you're going to put on maybe both red discs, for example. It all depends on your strength at the time that you're training, but for me, for example, if I want to work on strength, I would go ahead and put on 2 red discs because that will give me a very good amount of weight on the machine and will force me into a lower rep range. I personally recommend that a lot of people stick between a 12 to 15 rep range on Handy Gym when they want hypertrophy. That's what I like to do. I like to stick between that range. And the machine itself, because of the way it exists, because of the way it works, it will progressively increase the weight automatically over time as you get stronger. So you don't really have to think too much about it. All you have to think about is if one day you pick up that machine and you're using it and it gets too easy, okay, now I need to up the weight because it's automatically compensating based upon how hard you can push, based upon your endurance. The stronger you are, the more weight you get automatically. It's pretty amazing, and I know it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. Keep in mind that now might be the perfect time to buy a Handy Gym. Up until December 1st of 2022, you can get 20% off of any Handy Gym bundle that you buy, except for a Pro version, which are all sold out because of how amazing it is. You can, however, get an open box Pro. The only thing is you can't use the recovery code 20 on that. You can't get 20% off of it because it is already at such a low costs due to the fact that it's an open box. In either case, whether you use that 20% off code or you're getting an open box pro model, which I highly recommend, you are getting an insane deal on this portable bodybuilding machine. A lot of time I talk about it in terms of a bodybuilding machine, but guys, this machine was originally made for recovery, strength, and things like that. I happened to actually pick the machine up and start using it as a bodybuilding machine, and then the company realized, wow, this is a good idea. So it initially was never supposed to be used for bodybuilding, but now that the company knows, and they've known for a very long time now, that it is something miraculous that can be used for bodybuilding, people bodybuild with it, and it is very, very effective. Mostly because it regulates the weight for you, so you really don't have to think too much. Now, you may be wondering, well, okay, fine, it regulates the weight for me, but how do I know how my progression is going? I like to keep track. Some people like to keep track of that stuff. Personally, I don't necessarily on Handy Gym need to keep track of that. I just focus on whether my weight is going up or going down, whether I'm getting stronger, whether I'm going weaker. Handy Gym is a very, very natural way to train because it moves with your body. It grows with you as you grow. As you get stronger, it grows with you. You learn to use it more efficiently, and it becomes like another limb. But if you are one of those people who do like to keep track, make sure that you purchase one of the machines that have the encoder in it. It'll connect to an app, and it will allow you to go ahead and be able to track your reps, track your strength, track your calories burned, and all that stuff. It gives you all those little statistics that some people like to have. But personally, I don't focus too much on that. My machine itself does have an encoder, but I don't focus too much on that. I focus on the natural progression that my body is going. I've seen some amazing strength gains with this machine, some amazing cardio benefits because you can do cardio while bodybuilding at the same time, so you're losing more weight and you're building more muscle than you would with any other machine on the market. And so that's why I don't really focus too much on it. It's a very natural way to train. And honestly, when I get on this machine and I can train naturally in that respect, I feel great. I feel like I don't have to worry about numbers too much. I feel like I'm just simply living my life, moving and getting stronger at the same time. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Be safe, guys. Talk soon. I'll catch you all at the next video.